Lotteries are predatory. They play on our psychology to suck us dry of our hard-earned money. Play the no-lose lottery by pausing the video and clicking the link below. Back in the Wolf of Wall Street days, you would just shove penny stocks down people's throats and take a giant commission. A few years back, it might have been selling a stock trading bot or a forex trading bot that supposedly makes you money while you sleep. But today we have something even better, even more tempting. A crypto trading bot. The product itself is actually legit. You can set up your own custom bots based on your parameters, deploy them to start trading automatically with your money, see the trades come in, and withdraw your money.
It's always wild seeing a YouTuber's fan base turning on them. We've seen it happen a lot, and in some cases, it actually benefits the person being canceled, but for the most part, it's not a good thing. Whenever we think about most hated, we usually think about people like Brendan Schaub, Amy Schumer, and now most recently, Kalila Khan. Well, in this video, we're going to take a look at how YouTube sensation Jake Tran has been receiving a lot of hate, losing a lot of fans, and losing a lot of respect for essentially promoting shady businesses to his audience, while at the same time making videos talking, exposing shady businesses out there. I started watching his videos about a year ago maybe. I found the subjects that he would talk about very interesting, and I thought he was a cool dude. Cool personality when he went on Flagrant 2 a while back.
Yeah, that was a very specific reason for that. So when I was coming up with the strategy for my channel, I really liked channels where you did see their face because you built a very deep personal connection with that.
But I stopped watching when he started outsourcing his voice over to different employees. Like, he would begin a video and talk in the first minutes, and then the rest of the video would be done by some complete random person. It was kind of how Ray William Johnson was looking for his replacement back in the day for Equals 3, but it just wasn't the same. It's not as enjoyable, in my opinion. However, what completely pushed me off the Jake Tran train was Coffee's video last week. If you don't know, Coffeezilla is a big and respected YouTuber who called out Jake Tran for essentially promoting shady businesses to his audience. But why is Jake Tran so big in the first place? Well, Jake Tran is a YouTuber who not too long ago saw a huge explosion to his channel growth thanks to another massive YouTuber, Graham Stephan. Jake mentioned himself that before then he was making different style of videos unsuccessfully, making different type of videos, until one day he made a video essentially talking about how Graham Stephan had cracked the algorithm or something like that. He sent that video on a DM on an Instagram message to Graham. Graham Stephan saw the video, actually liked it, and then shared it on his Instagram. And well, the rest is history.
Once I launched that video, I shared it with Graham on Instagram, and he just really loved it and was super impressed. And he shared it on his Instagram with a swipe up, and from there, within a few weeks, it climbed up to 100K views. So that was the initial snowball that got things rolling. Why?
His channel completely exploded with views and subscribers coming from Graham Stephan, and he has been able to capitalize on that very well. He also mentioned the Blue Ocean Strategy, which is a good read. It's a book that pretty much lays out how to approach entering a market, in this case YouTube, but in reality there is a lot of luck involved in his come up. So, you know, this Blue Ocean Strategy would not apply equally to everybody else, obviously. You might be thinking I'm being unfair, but getting shouted out and personally recommended by a massive YouTuber or influencer is career changing. I mean, think about it. Think about how many people Joe Rogan has given a career to just by saying, oh man, this guy is great. Hey, go check out this guy. This guy's the funniest person. Jake's channel mainly focuses on making documentary style videos, exposing scams, evil businesses, and shady government operations around the world. A few days ago, Coffeezilla made a video calling out Jake Tran.
Which one it was either like, we're all gonna starve, or oh great, we're all gonna die, something like that. And what I noticed is that Jake makes these videos exposing scams, but then often uses the same tactics of the scam to then pitch you like a sponsor that's in the same lane.
Mentioned before, Coffeezilla is an actual great YouTuber. He does amazing work exposing crypto scams, NFTs, and all of that stuff. But he does hours and hours of actual research and investigation, way deeper than anything Jake Tran does. I believe he is very credible, and his perspective in this situation is valid. Well, he pointed out that Jake Tran has actually a pretty shady business plan himself. We will go over examples of this, but essentially it looks like Jake Tran handpicks sponsors to make content around and promote it to his fan base. which itself is not a bad thing if the products that you are promoting are not shady products or businesses. And one thing that I found always very interesting is how he transitioned into sponsored ad reads in a very clever way. And if you made it this far, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We will be uploading content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and it really helps out the channel, so subscribe. Thank you. And like I said, at first I thought it was just a clever way to promote sponsors, which is, you know, props to him. But now looking back at it, it does look like he essentially picks a sponsor and then writes an entire script around that sponsor. And like I said, it's not a bad thing, but let's say you have a YouTube channel and let's say you make content that you really like, and then eventually you start getting paid for that content. So naturally, that would motivate you to and push you to want to do more and get better so that you can get more money. You can do this by making better content, upping the production, because he justifies promoting these shady businesses on his videos by saying that he needs the money to keep making the content, which doesn't make sense whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, it does cost money to make videos, but his style of videos doesn't require that much of upfront capital. And Coffee himself pointed it out. He mostly uses movie clips or YouTube clips as his B-roll, which is, you know, fair use. And even now, he's outsourcing the voiceover to somebody completely different. Frankly, the subjects that he talks about, even though they are very interesting, you know, it's not new information. It's topics that have already been covered by real journalists and writers in the past. And not to mention, but I am pretty sure that he has a good income just from the YouTube ad revenue. And he also has a type of like subscription-based content that he does. So I don't really think he needed to take those sponsors. And if he did, I mean, aren't there like tons of sponsors out there, like the VPNs, all that other stuff? So I don't really think he needed to take those bad ones specifically. Maybe he really thinks that he is way too big now and doesn't relate to his audience like he did before. Kind of like those corporations that he talks about. You know, they get so big that you can't really relate to the people, and so you make decisions that affect the people but benefit your bottom line. I mean, it's clearly evidenced by him outsourcing the voiceover of his videos, which is the only thing that made the video a Jake Tran video was his voice. Now that it's not his voice or his face on the videos, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Most recently, he made a video talking about how crypto trade bots were a horrible product for the consumer because essentially they were a scam. And then later on in that same video, he promotes a crypto trade bot, but he claims that the one that they are using is the real one, is the one that actually works. And on another video, Jake was exposing companies that do Ponzi schemes, and guess what? In that video, he promoted what seems to be a very clear Ponzi scheme. It's
Want to
wild.
get into flipping, like you said, to start out? Are there any projects that you're looking into right now that you see potential in?
Yeah, and one thing I want to make clear, when you're new, you need to spend a little more time to really try to understand that this team is authentic, they care, they actually want to build something, because it's really hard to differentiate who is using these buzzwords to manipulate you and who actually has good intentions and wants to build something for the long run. And so I guess I'll use the project that we're advising for as the example, the Cunning Wolf system.
And you might be thinking, hey, doesn't everybody else in the YouTube space promote NFTs, crypto coins, and scammy educational courses? Well, yeah, sure they do. Sure they do. But at the very least, they have the decency to fake, at the very least, fake that they feel sorry for potentially promoting a scam and scamming their audience. On the other hand, Jake Tran, he took the villain capitalist persona. He didn't deny anything that Coffeezilla said and instead responded with this. And that is insane to me because I feel like that's an easy one to get out of. That's an easy controversy to get out of. But to be fair, what did we expect from a smaller YouTuber who was doing anything just to get big, got lucky, and got blessed by Graham Stephan, and enjoyed the 2020 YouTube content boom? However, what's next is the most important part, because I don't mind him doing whatever he needs to do to get his money, but the thing that bothers me is the lies. Because back in the day when he went on Flagrant 2, he made himself look like a nice guy, like a super smart genius guy that somehow figured out what YouTube was needing and was able to satisfy that demand, which I feel like it's giving himself way too much credit, way too much credit. And don't get me wrong, I make videos for money as well, But it's like the chicken and the egg situation. What came first? For me, the videos come first, obviously. I've been making shitty videos for many years, and now I just so happen to make some money. So naturally, I do want to get better and looking to get bigger, but I'm not rushing and I'm not doing anything shady to get there. And it's not like I dislike him, but just like a toxic ex-girlfriend, I just expected way too much from him. I guess it's my own fault for trusting him. But again, we are on YouTube. He is not going anywhere, and he will continue to have an audience as long as he continues to put out good content, which he actually does. You know, you gotta admit that he does good content. Hey, I don't know the guy. I don't know what he's going through in his personal life, so I can't sit here and just judge him. At the end of the day, the truth is nothing is going to happen to him. We all know of people that have done way worse and still have a massive audience and are still out there doing YouTube videos. The reason why is because there is possible deniability. They can always say that they didn't know, that they thought it was legit, or that they were just kidding and acting. And we all believe them because we've all been there at some point. But whatever, man. That's all we got for today. See ya.